week before, but it also shows a little improvement over the last 6 months. The unemployment rate has remained at 9.1% since July. Economists say there's little reason to expect much improvement when more than 400,000 new claims are being filed each week. Meanwhile, the government is reporting 50% of U.S. workers earned less than $27,000 last year, reflecting a growing income gap between the nation's rich and poor. According to the Social Security Administration, there were fewer jobs and overall pay has been trending down, except for the wealthiest Americans. The number of people making $1 million or more soared by over 18% from 2009. The payroll figures are based on W-2 forms submitted by employers to the IRS. Can't touch this, or can he? MC Hammer is taking on Google. The rapper turned entrepreneur is launching his own search engine. Now, the project is called Wiredo. He hopes it will outperform popular sites like Google and Bing. And he says a search would render not just direct results, but also information on possibly
Thanks, Harbor. No tropical concerns here. It's looking good. Lots of sunshine, rainfall. Not
program in space. The Pentagon's research branch announced the Phoenix program to find a way to use parts from out-of-use satellites orbiting Earth. NASA says about 100 satellites are drifting about 25,000 miles out and may have many valuable parts that can actually be reused. Other satellites could be repaired or even have their systems upgraded, essentially creating new ones. Now, private contractors can begin submitting their proposals in December, with work beginning as early as next year. Florida's City Beautiful is now sharing with Ohio's Clean City. A pair of hatchling alligators from Gatorland were shipped to Ohio to be on display at the Reptile House at the Cincinnati Zoo. The staff at Gatorland wanted the little gators to enjoy their first flight, so they cleaned them up, gave them a final look at the Florida sunshine, and packed them comfortably in the belly of a plane. The baby gators will spend a few weeks in quarantine before being placed on display. So, have you heard the one about the bear walking into a candy store? Well, turns out it's no joke. It actually really happened. Check out this surveillance video from a candy store in Tennessee. Yes, that is a bear who broke into this family-owned candy store through the front door looking for some sweet treats. Now, employees discovered the bear early yesterday morning and called police. They also discovered that the bear apparently likes pecan logs and candy apples. Now, when the bear learned he had been discovered, he was able to escape through the parking lot. Well, you made it to Friday, and this weekend you're going to be rewarded with a beautiful weekend forecast. Your accurate neighborhood weather on the 1 forecast on News 13 is next, exclusively on Bright House Network. Stay with us. This is video from an earlier court appearance where Davis Sr. appeared in a wheelchair because of an injury he suffered in the shooting. Now, Davis faces a charge of second-degree murder with a firearm. The two have been arguing over the son's custody dispute with the child's mother. A Brevard County man has been indicted on a charge of interfering with a flight crew. As we first told you on Tuesday, 29-year-old Ali Reza Shashaveri of Indian Atlantic attempted to intimidate the crew of a Southwest Airlines flight and damaged a bathroom. Now, this caused the flight from Los Angeles to Kansas City to make an an emergency landing in Texas on Tuesday. Chavarri made his initial court appearance on Thursday after his arrest at the Amarillo International Airport. His lawyer says his client had a nervous breakdown while flying to Florida for mental health treatment. Convicted killer James Robert Ward says he could have convinced a jury he never killed his wife. It's an exclusive new detail from a jailhouse interview you'll only see on News 13. News 13's Jacqueline Fell interviewed Ward at the Orange County Jail and has more new details from her exclusive interview.
Days after Diane Ward was shot in the face and killed, her husband, who was suspected of pulling the trigger, expected to be out of jail and supporting his family through crisis. But 2 years later, his business suits have been replaced with a blue jail jumpsuit, and Bob Ward is facing the possibility of dying in jail.
I'm telling you, it's nothing more than an overzealous state's attorney.
Bob Ward now says his wife could have been trying to kill him that night in September 2009. He says that night she wasn't suicidal. He says he turned around and she had a gun. In an instant, he grabbed it and it went off.
I don't want to have to sit in jail for a year for something I didn't do, and anybody that sat in that trial could understand I didn't do it for something I didn't do. It's not right.
In an exclusive interview with News 13, Bob Ward was somber, polite. He smiled when talking about his children. His eyes glossed over when talking about being with them during his trial. He says he doesn't want to put them through that again, but it may be his only choice. He says Mallory and Sarah Ward have always been a priority. That's why he says he was seen dancing and laughing in jail just days after he shot his wife. He says he wanted to cheer up his family.
When things are bad, you get better get your game face on. And what good would it have done for me to be like some crying maniac over that camera to them?
Ward talked about his wife Diane fondly, calling her his best friend. They were married for more than 20 years, but he did say Diane, who took a number of prescription pills, occasionally snapped. And it was a family joke how much red wine she could drink, reflecting on his past life and awaiting his future. He asked Ward how he stays so calm. His answer, once again, was Mallory and Sarah, his daughters, and surprisingly, his dead wife's family.
But they will be there for me. I know they will. And Paula told me that this week. You know, it's family does what family does, and we're a very, very close family. A very good family. Can't believe this has happened to us.
Ward could be sentenced anywhere from 25 years to life in prison. At 64 years old, he says anything short of an overturned conviction for him is a life sentence. Jacqueline Fell, News 13.
Ward is not allowed to do any more interviews. During our exclusive interview, he talked about jail policies and procedures, which he was not allowed to do. That prompted the jail to take away his interview privileges. And you can see more of our exclusive interview with Ward online only at CFNews13.com. Life-threatening injuries. Neighbors say they are shocked something like this could happen in what's usually a nice, quiet neighborhood.
What's depressing is to see that in a nice area and have somebody do something like that for no reason at all.
Well, the suspects were seen in a dark-colored Acura. Anyone with information is asked to call Crime Line at 1-800-423-TIP. A man is behind bars in Brevard County after an almost 5-hour standoff with the SWAT team. It happened at Christopher Wood's home yesterday on Barr Avenue in Merritt Island. Investigators say Wood barricaded himself inside his house with several guns. After attempts to negotiate, the SWAT team shot chemical agents into his home to force him out. They say he then fired several guns gunshots before coming out. The 38-year-old is now facing charges of aggravated assault on a law enforcement officer. And we end in Seminole County, where the city of Oviedo has a new manager. The city council voted unanimously to offer the city manager position to Catherine. Recommended a client be a healthcare professional.
I think that's what I initially wanted to see.
Is Facebook changing your brain? Well, scientists in the UK say they found a strong link between the number of friends that people have on Facebook and just how brainy they really are. That tops today's health headlines. Researchers from University College London say there's a strong link between the number of friends a person has on their Facebook account and the amount of gray matter in several regions of the brain. One of those regions is a part of the brain associated with processing memory and emotional responses. Based on their findings, researchers suggest the more friends people have on the social networking sites, the more friends they're likely to have in the real world. Well, your hairdresser may be a little bit more valuable than you think. In fact, a new study from the Archives of Dermatology suggests they may help spot skin cancer. In fact, researchers say most hairdressers already check their clients' scalp, neck, and face for signs of skin cancer, and more than half have recommended a client see a healthcare professional about an abnormal mole. Most hairdressers have expressed interest in becoming more involved in skin cancer education. For the latest health headlines anytime, just visit our website, cbnews13.com/health. Are you feeling depressed? If so,
Nope.
You're not alone. A new report shows more Americans are relying on antidepressants. The Centers for Disease Control reports that 11% of Americans over 12 take antidepressants. Women are 2.5 times more likely to take them compared to men. But the study finds only 1/3 of people with severe depression actually take antidepressants.
Mom, what are antidepressants?
Well, the weather the past 2 days has been quite nice. Will that continue into the weekend? We've
There
got that.
is another belief. People think that depression is not a disease, it's not a sickness. But others, they say, yes, it is, and it's a very serious sickness. And
New details on
they've
that
been,
court appearance
they've
and what
been
we've learned.
finding a lot of depression. And depression is actually a disease that many people can confuse with just being sad or having a bad day, having something going on, something major going on. Okay? But yes, there is a disease called depression, and there's so many people suffering from depression. Depression, it could hit
Part of the
anybody,
first
and
in the nation primary, so
it's
that
when
traditional
people
title
are
may
very
be a bit
Sad.
up for grabs.
not
That's
just
because
sad,
Nevada
they are gone
December.
for a long time.
Predict Nevada will reach its
Like,
Rick
that
Santorum and 4 other
they
candidates say they'll boycott the conference.
they are talking to you and all of that, but they are like kind of
create the
in a
opportunity
different
for
plan.
the proper
Yes.
time for both Iowa and New Hampshire to have their
They are
primaries
like
and not over the Christmas
always
Vice President Biden filed papers to the Obama ticket and voiced
I
support
don't know.
for New Hampshire.
The first primary in the country, which
That's okay.
will stay the first
Yes,
primary in
what
the
you said
country, and
is
hopefully
right.
at a reasonable date.
sad, not
It's
only
critical.
sad,
The Republican
negative,
National Committee
very
believes
negative
half of
about
Nevada
everything
justices
that's
exposed early.
going
Even for the
on.
home state of Las
They
Vegas,
are
that could prove
also
moving race,
denial
a political
and
gamble.
denial
In Washington, I'm
time.
Melanie Smith. For the second time in 2 weeks,
Where are you
an
going?
effort from President Obama's to create jobs died in the U.S. Senate last night.
Okay.
Senators on both sides of the aisle worked well into the night, putting their votes 50-50 on even getting the president's new jobs bill to the floor. The president needed 60 votes to get the proposal debated. Senate Minority Leader Mitch McConnell said the president's plan would increase taxes. President Obama called the bill's failure, quote, unacceptable. The teachers who educate your children could be coming under attack again. A powerful lobbying group is targeting them, as well as public pensions and workers' compensation, as ways to slash the state's budget. In your Capital Update, a controversial battle is beginning to brew over one of the most powerful lobbying groups in the state. As News 13's Capitol Bureau reporter Troy Keith explains, their record shows they usually get what they ask for.
From teacher merit pay to a dramatic slashing of unemployment benefits, Tallahassee's Republican majority is cranking out big, bold, and controversial reforms. And almost every one of them has a familiar fingerprint, that of the Florida Chamber of Commerce. The business-backed lobby was a strong hand in shaping legislation, and now the Chamber's unveiling its 2012 priorities, many of them virtually guaranteed to become law.
We simply must find ways to return government back to its core service and focus on promoting private sector job creation rather than funding new government programs.
So the Chamber's asking lawmakers to scale back workers' comp benefits, limit the ability of teachers to collectively bargain, and phase out public pensions. The Chamber's a potent force here in the Capitol.